There. Hi, guys. I'm Angie. I am the founder of Team Grit, and this is our weekly Zoom call. And today we are going to be talking about recruiting customers to coach conversion. And then we'll also be talking just a little bit at the end about how to get people to tell you how to recruit them. So that'll be at the end. But first, I wanted to start out. I want to change a few things that we do in our meetings. And let's start with a quick word of prayer, and then we'll go on to recognition, and then we will go on to our meeting. So let's just pray real quick. Father God, I just want to thank you for this time to meet with these lovely ladies, and I want to thank you for giving us this heart to serve others, and I pray that you would just put it in our hearts that we need to minister to others about you through faith and through fitness, Lord. And I just pray that you would help us in this endeavor. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so that's our quick start. And then I wanted to start making sure that each week we talk about how many lives that we have affected and that we are changing each week. And we'll total it up through the month. So we have... I have I've got 4 lives that I'm affecting this month and changing this month. Selena, you have 2 lives that you are affecting and changing this month. Dana Preston has 1, and Stacy has 1. And I think of it as more than that because, in my opinion, if we are connecting people to a program, that counts as changing their life too, not just the program and the Shakeology. So we are affecting even more lives and changing even more lives than what those numbers show. And that just makes me excited because it means our team is reaching out to people and working for to help other people find confidence in their own skin and to just to gain back some of maybe what they had lost and to gain some health. So I'm really excited about that. We are going to move on to our conversation and recruiting school. This is, I think, something that we need to focus on our team because the more people that we recruit into our team, then the more players we have to help us. We can't do it alone because we all have different stories. Our stories, as you know, like Selena, we've talked about different coaches that we connected to, and you and I connected to totally different coaches just because our backgrounds are different. And so that's what's wonderful about this this company is that you don't have to be like your sponsor coach and you don't have to be like your sister coach. You need to be you, and that's the gift of being you, is that you are going to connect to some people in this world that nobody else will, and your message will reach people in this world that nobody else will. And so that's the cool thing, is using your story and your uniqueness to reach out. So how do we convert our customers into coaches? This is what we're going to be talking about. Well, the very first thing that we need to do is we need to run amazing challenge groups. We need to, our free groups and then our regular challenge groups, those need to be rock solid amazing. When we show up, we need to show up with excitement. We need to show up with energy. We need to show up. I mean, that's the big thing too, is make sure that they know that we're there for them, supporting them. That doesn't mean that if you have a bad day that you can't admit it in the group, because they want you to be real. They want you to show your real life too. And I know that there were some days in my early days of the challenge group that I would literally be there going, my eyes, can you see my eyes? I'm just so tired. And they appreciated that because they told me later, they said that they knew that if I struggled to work out, it didn't make them feel so bad on those days, struggling to work out. But what you show is that even in the struggle that you're there and that you're excited about what you're doing. So passion for what you are doing can go a long ways, even farther than perfection. And this is my weak point that I'll say I'll stick on this. When you're passionate about something, when you're excited and you're sharing about other people, you don't have to be perfect. And the coach that I was listening to that was talking about this, she just built this huge group, this huge team in a hurry, and she didn't know everything, where I tend to hold back a little bit because maybe I don't know how to do a Zoom training. Maybe I don't know how to do such and such. Whereas my goal now is to just push forward, and my goal for our team is to push forward into failure, and it's okay for us to flop on our faces and fail as long as we're being passionate and we're pushing forward and sharing that passion with other people. So one of the things we need to think about as coaches is, am I demonstrating what a great coach is? When we're running our challenge groups, am I showing up every day, or am I forgetting to post? When I enroll somebody as a coach, when I go to bed at night, I have to think about, what if they did exactly what I did today, would they be successful? So these are things as a coach myself that I need to be thinking about. And when we're running our challenge groups, we have in my scripts that I have saved off that I've shared with you guys, I try to incorporate things into our challenge groups that help them to be comfortable, so that if they decide to go into coaching, they've already done things. And one of the things I want to start incorporating is a Zoom call, because your very first one can sometimes be a little scary, especially if you're not techie. And then you get on here and you realize it's actually really super easy and not that scary at all. So in our challenge groups, when you ask people to post a motivational quote, that is what we do as coaches on our Facebook pages. We post motivational quotes. We do things like that. So we're helping them to do some of these coaching things as challengers, so that when they decide to join us, they've already done some of the coaching activities, and it feels a little more natural and a little less scary. So that's part of our challenge group, is helping them to get into those coaching activities without even necessarily realizing what they're doing. And then when we're in the groups, we need to focus on them and their goals and what they want to accomplish, because that's how we get them excited. Is we want to make sure that we are not being insincere, and that we're just doing this just for us, for what they can do for us. As long as our intentions are, I want to help you get the best results. And honestly, that has been my biggest joy over this last year, is watching different challengers get to places that they never thought they could. And it's amazing, and it just makes your heart full, and it's so exciting to see that. So we need to be checking in with our challengers personally once a week, and just private messaging them once a week and asking them how it's going, if they need any help, things like that. If you have a challenger who has fallen off, who's not posting, then you might want to check in on that and just say, hey, I noticed you're not being real active in the group. Is there something I can help you with? Are you struggling with something? Is there something you need? So we need to show them those aspects of coaching, the joy of helping others, and just finding that fulfillment in showing other people how to gain confidence and gain their fitness. So at the final day, and I didn't get a chance to make a slide, I copied a slide that I had seen, but I didn't like the title of it, so I'm going to make one that I will post in the group later. This is what a coach that I had gotten this from. She, at the very last day of her group, she gives them 4 options, and it's just a slide, a little quick little slide, 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the end of the group, the 4 options are that, number 1, you can continue as a challenger. So you offer everybody these options. They can continue as a challenger. Next group, next group, next group. And that would be up to you on whether you want to keep them with Shakeology or not with Shakeology. I really have a tendency to just keep, if people want to be in my group, I have a tendency to let them stay in as long as they're participating, because for me, it is about helping them. So then the second option is to ask them to invite their friends to join them. So what you'll notice, some of your challengers get really super excited about their results and are sharing them with their friends, or their friends and family are noticing. So the second option is for them to join the next challenge group with a friend, with their mom, with their sister, with a buddy. And that's a referral for you. So it brings a new client to you if they want to go that route. Then the third option is to invite them to enjoy the 25% discount on Shakeology. And this one, you can label it as the VIP preferred customer, and just let them know that the only obligation with that is to make sure that they enjoy the discount, and that's the only obligation. And you can build up to a diamond level with your discount coaches, and then a couple of working coaches. So that's definitely a feasible option for there. And then the fourth option is to become an apprentice coach. And I had never heard it quite worded that way, and I kind of like that, because then that way they can feel like they have that support and encouragement, which is what we do offer. I mean, we want to be here for our coaches. And so they get that in support and encouragement. They can join our next challenge group, and if they get somebody else to join up with them, they can add them into our challenge group and not have to be running the group. So those are the four options, and that's just a great way to make sure that you present that to everybody. And then even private message them afterwards and say, hey, which of the four options have you decided to go with, so that I can help you. Hi, Jean, nice to have you joining us tonight. So those things. Then when you onboard your new coaches, make sure you send them a welcome email. And the coach that I was listening to when I was listening to a lot of different things before prepping for this, she doesn't put all of her coaches into the team pages, her discount coaches. I have been putting all of my coaches into the pages because I just think it's nice for them to see the culture, and then that way if they're interested, they can kind of poke around in the pages without really, they can see things without asking, and then it helps them maybe to make a decision to then step out and say, yeah, I really want to do this. So that's one of the things that I would say is, even your discount coaches, put them in your Team Grit page and the Team Platinum Legacy page, so that they can see what's in the background, and they can see all of the opportunities. And what I like to see too is that it's normal everyday people, because sometimes we only see like the bigger coaches, and it can be intimidating. And so when you get into those Platinum Legacy and Team Grit, then you see that it's just normal people, and we all have different types of jobs, and we have different situations, and yet we're still making that coaching work for us. So then I want to go into as we're recruiting. So one of the things I want to talk today about is hitting Emerald. And if you are trying to hit Success Club, and if you're hitting a Success Club each month, then there's no reason for you to not go Emerald. All you need to go Emerald is 2 coaches. If you're not familiar, I don't know that I have this. Let's see if I can do this. If you're not familiar with our coaching line, back office, and all of that, and downline, when you first join as a coach, this would be you right here. Okay, and let me see if I can even do this. Go up. That's you right there. And every human has 2 legs. And in our Beachbody world, when you join as a coach, you only have 2 legs. You have a left leg and a right leg. And that's where you add all of your coaches. To go Emerald, you just need 1 on each side. And my recommendation is to make sure that if you have a spouse, that you put your spouse on one of these legs. And as you're building your business, it will definitely benefit you. And I'm going to do a training on that later, so we'll go into that later. But I wanted to talk about that specifically tonight, because as you're recruiting, you'll want to make sure you're thinking about your spouse and placing your spouse near the top of your organization. So who would you look at for recruiting that's maybe not in your challenge groups right now? If you've been running challenge groups for a while, then you probably have customers who are on Shakeology Home Direct. And so that is a great place to go to start looking at recruiting, because for me, I'm about the deal. I like making sure I get a good deal on everything that I'm buying. So that's a great opportunity to connect with somebody and say, look, you're getting your Shakeology. I know you're loving your Shakeology. Why not save money? Because even though they're paying $15.99 a month to be a coach, they're saving $25 a month on their Shakeology. So they're saving money each month. And why wouldn't they do that? So that's a great way to reach out to some of your people. And you can go into your online office and you can check under your customers, and there is you can check just the people who are on Shakeology HD and see who they are, and then you can send them messages. So when we're each month, as we are reaching out to our people, you should be reaching out, helping 2 to 3 people each month. And those are the people. I'm going to give me a second. I'm going to mute because we've got something in the background. There we go. Okay, so when we're helping our 2 to 3 people each month, those are the people in your challenge groups that you want to be reaching out to and offering them the opportunity for the discount or for the coaching opportunity. And when you basically, as we're building, as you get to Emerald and then you add more people underneath you and you become Diamond, our business is just about building more emeralds. And so the more emeralds you build, the more you build your business. So just making sure that we're presenting that opportunity at the end of each challenge group will definitely go a long ways towards helping you with that. And then one of the other things in our challenge group is to make sure that we are helping people see the value of Shakeology. I am a firm believer in it. I've seen how it's helped me. I've seen how it has helped several of my different challengers. And then like Lisa Sturkenberg lost, she just loved it until she had to go off from it because of her RA. But, and it helped her with her weight loss. And I have a challenger who has leveled out her blood sugars because of it. And that is amazing. And that part right there, it helps with your everyday life. And I love that too. So presenting that value, making sure we're watching Shakeology videos and doing the podcasts and understanding what the value is so that we can accurately portray it to our challengers. So then how do you get people to tell you how to recruit them? So when you're talking to people, you need to know what's a way that, rather than you just kind of throwing things out there, what is the best way so that you know what their needs are? Give me a second, please. Okay. So when we are talking to people, and this would be just on Facebook or Instagram, things like that, make sure that when we're reaching out to people that we're reaching out there not for what our agenda is, but just to make sure that our intentions are, we are looking to help people. We're looking to help them where they're at and with whatever their needs are. And so when we do that, make sure that when you're talking to people that you're smiling. I know that sounds weird, but when you're talking to people and you're smiling, even though they can't see your face and you're typing, it comes through. So if you are having a really rotten day, that might not be the time. If you're just really mad, that might not be the time to sit down and start messaging people. You need to put on some good music. You need to just get in your happy zone and make sure that you're in that zone when you're messaging people, because it does come through. So as you're talking to them, talk about them. Find out what their interests are. Find out what their needs are and what their wants are and the fun things that they're doing. Find out about their family and how their family is doing. Find out about their job. We've talked about this before, and it's called FORM, Family, Occupation, Recreation, and Message. And when you're doing that, when you learn more and you ask more questions, you learn more about them. And the more you know about them, the more you can understand what their motives are, what their situation is, what their passions are, what things move them, and you can help them find that reason for them to want to join us. And so some people may really love their job and not want to leave their job. Other people might, actually hate their job, and that would be a great opportunity to talk to them. But other people who love their job, maybe they love their job but don't want to work it full time. Maybe they love their job but need a little more freedom to spend time with their family. And those are the things that we can reach out to them and say, if I had an opportunity where you could get in shape and get paid for it, and give you some freedom to spend with your family, would you be interested in hearing about that? And I really liked that wording, that phrasing of that, because then it puts it in their corner, and they can think about it and whether they're interested or not. So those are the things I have right now. And I think that I wanted to cover recruiting. I wanted to cover especially Challenger to coach recruiting, because I think in our team that's something that we need to maybe focus on a little bit more. I know I needed to focus on that more. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to unmute you guys. And if you have any questions, you can let me know. Whoops. Did I lose Jean, or did Jean sign off?
I think she left.
Okay. I unmuted her and it scared her. Hi, Jean. Okay. I tend to talk fast. Hey, look at that. Just about half an hour. Okay. Do you have any questions, Miss Selena? No. All right. I am going to hit stop recording right here. And if you guys have any questions, you can let me know on the team page, and I will get back with